Hello everyone, I am Shyama Dhar. I'm going to present my research paper on theatre space and placemaking in Northeast Bangladesh. I have worked in this research paper with Kawshik Saha. We are from Shahjalan University of Science and Technology, Sylhet, Bangladesh. Firstly, we're going to talk about the context, which is theatre. The theater itself is not revolutionary, it is the rehearsal for the revelation, as Augusto Boals says. Traditionally, if we look at the definition of theater, it is a space where live performances take place, a large measure in the form of a building specialized for presenting collaborated performances. But for years, theatrical space evolved around a fundamentally distinct principle. A theater was a site of human conversation. The audience did not sit, gaze, and listen passively. It took part in the performance. The experience was shared with actors and members of the audience interacting. In this research paper, if we talk about the context is like the theater has a significant impact on outdoor public affairs. But with industrial advancement, modern theater space and placemaking have evolved, which has come with incoherent theater buildings, which promotes monocultural structures and causes lack of identity. It has ignored local context, and a loss of cultural heritage has been caused. In this research, we seek to know the context, the elementary spaces of performances in the study area, and the affordable and inclusive theatrical form. With the findings, we can achieve a regional model or the guidelines for an anthropomorphic image of theater. The research questions that have arrived while doing this paper are what are the elementary spaces that are used in this indigenous theater of Northeast Bangladesh? And what can be the architectural intervention to ensure an affordable and sustainable theatrical form? What could be the image of regional theater in Northeast Bangladesh? The contents of this presentation are industrial development and morphology of theatrical and cultural landscape, evolution of theater, current homogeneous approach of theater planning, theater formation and morphology of anthropomorphic theater in Northeast Bangladesh, and anthropomorphic image of theater and audience engagement. The methods we have used in this research are literature survey, field survey, semi-structured interview, social demographic data analysis, and case studies. We have used these methods to know the context, elementary spaces, and affordable and inclusive theatrical forms. The industrial development and morphology of theatrical and cultural landscape. A region's theater and cultural activities evolve in response to its geographical, economic, and social orientations and constraints. The theatrical and artistic activities developed in this region around its level terrain, floodplains, impoverished population, and folklore. It had a democratic and natural setting of spaces and places of performances, but with industrial development, we are more economic and budget looking in our design. We can see a changed texture and space, and place after this industrial development. Our site appraisal. Our site is in northeast Bangladesh. We have selected Hobiganj as a selected site. In this map, we can see the proximity of cultural nodes in this city. And these are the images of local cultural performances that took place in those nodes. If you look at the evolution of theater, we can see our theater has a mixture of Sanskrit and derivatives, indigenous and European theater. From the very beginning, we had Chaitanya Jatra as our very own local form of theater. But with time, from under open sky, then under a tree, then under semi-open space that is not there, we have now come to contemporary theater that is mostly indoor. The current homogeneous approach of theater planning. In this planning attitude, we can see large town halls with a variety of services on the ground floor. There are proscenium theaters and seminar rooms. There is no dedicated space for local performances or performers. The structures have a grand and gigantic attitude, and it is devoid of interaction spaces, and it encourages monoculture mostly. If we see the theater formation and morphology of anthropomorphic theater in northeast Bangladesh, that is in Hobiganj, we see the most practiced theater or local performances are in circular, rectangular shapes, where the performers are in the center, and the public and the crowd mostly sit around them in a democratic setting. And then we can see the mandapa, before which there is a Nach Mandir, that is the local and ancient performance spaces in this region. These are the pictures of local performances that take place in Hobiganj till now, but without promoting them further in future, they could go extinct. These are the local structures that house performances, cultural performances, and religious performances mostly. We have categorized the performances in the study area, in their essence, and which time they practice these performances, and their values, if they are secular or religious. These are the pictures of Hobiganj's contemporary theater practice. We can see from the pictures that the space and places are conveying a sense of outdoor and semi-outdoor essence, but still in a indoor and a welcoming gesture. The fragmentation of Northeast Bangladesh's traditional space and the transformation of theater space typology. We can see the first ever performances, if an infographic, there used to be happened in under open sky, then under a tree, then a Nach Mandir. Then with European influence, we have made amphitheater, and with modern influence and advancement of industrialization, we have now indoor theaters mostly. After surveys and semi-structured interviews and demographic data analysis, we have these findings that makes the image of a anthropomorphic theater. The elementary spaces we get is open air theater, not mundir. Portola, there is a banyan tree plaza waterfront space that we call Dhar. The anthropomorphic image of theater in a semi-urban region, there is a study area, include mid-rise indoor halls, outdoor performance space, and with horizontal expansion that has to have sense of permeability, discussion spaces outside the halls. The architectural intervention could be placing the indoor halls alongside the semi-outdoor and outdoor spaces. Height and circulation variation is the mean of control, and the scale of the whole structure should be very unheroic to be welcoming and to connect with people. In discussion conclusion, we can say, due to the nature of the site, which is cohesive in nature, it is impossible to separate each component of the analysis of the core and shifting theoretical space in Northeast Bangladesh. Process of evaluating the site cannot bypass the juxtaposition of diverse aspects of life. Local forms of dramatic performances, when included and promoted, will enhance the potential of contemporary and experimental theatre activities. And the creation of space and place as a result of it, taking place in a democratic setting, will guide the general mass in connecting with and going with it. These are the references I have mostly used in this presentation. Thank you.